Oh, good morning, everybody. This is the first day of the week, 9th of September. So we'll start off by looking at the weekly charts, and then we'll move down to daily, then possibly 4 hours, and if time allows us, then we'll move even lower to 1 hour. So this is Euro USD, the first chart on my screen. We start off with the weekly. The first thing what I'm seeing here, this is a retracement. The move which we saw last week was actually a retracement, but we are still below a very significant trend line, which is this. So this is still a sell. In my opinion, this is still a very good sell. If you draw it like this, you can see that the last week's candle actually attempted to close above this trend line. If you're not supposed to force it, if we don't force it, you can see that the previous week's candle, which is this one, actually closed above this level here. It closed above the trend line, but then it is below a very good support, which is this. So as long as we have price being held below 1.109, we actually expect a sell. We expect price to proceed to the lower side. It should continue massively to the lower side, but should not go below this level, which is this. So if you are looking at Euro USD, you better be looking for sell positions, but only if price comes back to this level. So if price can pull back to 1.1090, then we are going to look for a sell from that point. That's the correct place to look for a sell from. We are not looking for a buy. You may see some buy positions on lesser time frames, but then this is still a very good sell. So have your stop loss there, have your pending sell limit around the level which I've mentioned, 1.1090, and expect that sell to push price ultimately up to 1.0471. This is on the weekly. On the daily, we have the same level, but this is slightly lower. So this is basically just a support. We had a break, there's a retracement, and then there's a bearish pin bar which has not matured yet. So this is still a sell. After this pin bar, you're actually supposed to look for a sell, but since price did not proceed downwards and instead it's currently pulling back to the upper side, this is still a sell. So expect a sell around Friday's opening price, or if that does not happen, expect to sell it from 1.1075, which is here. So I'd rather you have your pending sell limit, have your stop loss above this level here, and then you should have your take profit here on the weekly, which is this level here, 1.0471. On the 4 hours chart, we have the same thing, the same level, which is this, a very good resistance. Now should act as a resistance, this level there. So a support, a break, a retracement, it continued down, it came back the first time, it couldn't break above, it continued down. So if price can come back up to this level here, then that is still a sell. So either way, we are still looking for a sell on this pair, but only if price can pull back up to the level which I've mentioned. On the 1 hour, the same level still holds, so I don't want to draw lines on this one. I remain with the weekly line and the 4 hours line. This is a sell, have your stop loss, then our take profits on the weekly, which is this one. We move forward, GBP USD. So GBP USD basically should be a sell, but then the price is retracing to the upper side. The reason I'm saying this as a sell is this. Look at the monthly chart. On the monthly, we have price below a level, this one. The last month's candle actually closed below a very significant monthly support. Yeah, a support. There was this big candle which opened here and then closed below as a sell. Then the previous month candle was actually an indecision candle below a key level. So this is still a sell. If you are looking at GBP USD, you ought to be looking for a sell as you're speaking. Ensure you're looking for sell positions. And despite the fact that there's a move to the upper side, this is still a sell. On the weekly, we have this level here, support. And then we also have this. I'm marking it as a zone because price may come back up to somewhere in between this zone before it proceeds downwards. So if this the last week's candle, which is this, if it can push price upwards, the maximum it should take price is this level here, the zone. So we are waiting to sell it there with our take profit on the monthly. So if you're looking at the weekly chart, be sure to expect some move up to this level where we look for a sell. The daily, we have this same level is still holding. So actually daily is a bit thin. We have this a support, a support, a support, and then we expect price to proceed up to this level before we look for a sell. On the 4 hours, this is what we have. This is how the chart looks on the 4 hours. The price went up and somehow is heading to the lower side. So this could mean that for us we are possibly heading downwards. But since we've seen that weekly and monthly, the chance price may continue upwards, this move we are seeing on the 4 hours may act either as the beginning of the bearish move on the monthly, or it may just be a retracement on the weekly. So if price should go below the previous week's opening price here, if the current week's candle can close below this level, then that will mean we are selling. But if it comes down but does not go below 1.2160, then this will be a good place to rebuy it from up to this level, 1.2535. So we are basically just waiting for a retracement up to this level, then we'll buy it up to the next level, which is this 1.2535. In case it breaks below, then we are proceeding to the lower side. For us, we've looked at that. Then I'm going to add an indicator on this one. I'm going to add an alligator. So if you can see this properly, actually the trend is bearish. We are somehow heading to the lower side. So this should mean you look for sell positions. This should mean that we are looking for sell orders, and we expect that sell to push price up to this support as we've seen on the weekly. So if you are looking at this chart properly, you should be looking for a buy from around this level. Yeah. Expect that move to push price downwards, but should not go below this level, 1.2164, where we'll pick a buy up to this weekly level here. So we'll move forward. USD JPY, and USD JPY so far it's above a very good monthly resistance. Just look at this. We have this here, a support, a support, a support. Somehow price is still being held above 106.11. So if you are checking this chart at the beginning of this month, you actually ought to have seen that these are the places to look for. The level which I'm drawing currently are the levels where you're supposed to look for on this chart. Either price should bounce off from those levels so that we pick a trade, or it should break out of those places. So we have this level here, and we expect it to push price up to around 108.81. so expect some move upwards up to this level, and in case price breaks above, price goes above, we'll wait for retracement, then we'll continue buying it even higher. This is what we expect to happen ultimately. So as long as you have price above 106.11, we expect it to proceed to the upper side up to the level which I've mentioned on top. So if you didn't pick a buy here, you still have the chance to buy it, but if price can go beyond this level, if price breaks above 101.81, then you should expect it to proceed even higher up to the next level, 113.76. So we'll move forward to the next chart, SP500. Yeah, SP500 is bullish. We are buyers on this one, and if you can see, the price basically went above the zone where we said previously. It even went above this level here. So this should only mean one thing, that we are still continuing to the upper side. This is a zone where we wanted to sell from, but then somehow price rallied to the upper side and even closed above it. So this is still a buy up to the next level here. This is still a very good buy. Expect that buy to push us up to this resistance 302 6.9. So a retracement, then a continuation to the upper side. On the day 1 hour, the same level. So you can see we are basically consolidating to the upper side. It's not a clear move upwards, but we are just consolidating to the upper side, which means somehow we are still continuing. So on this one, look for buy positions. So we'll move forward to our next chart, and that should be Brent oil. Sorry, this is how Brent oil looks so far. This is what we expected to happen. A few days ago we had this level here. So far price has continued to the upper side, and it's somehow approaching the level where we wanted to sell from, which is this. I'm going to mark it like this. So a support, there's a break, a retracement, and then we have this. Before I move on, we have this. So basically price went above, didn't go above it, it's still being held. So this could mean that we are possibly sellers. It could mean that somehow we're waiting for sellers, but then the correct place to sell from is 62.51. If price can climb perfectly up to 62.51, then that will be the ideal place to look for a sell from. If price can pull back up to this level here, 62.51, then that will be a very good place to look for a sell from. That's on the daily, and I'm not going to look at it from the first because it looks much better on the daily. So you better wait for price around 62.51. If you sell it there, your stop loss should be above this level here, and then your take profit is of course on the weekly, which is this one. So sell it there, have your take profit there, have your stop loss above this candle which actually broke below. The next chart, gold. So gold, one thing which I want to mention, that the previous there's like, this is like a bear, like dark cloud. This candle would mean dark cloud, which means we are possibly turning to sellers. It doesn't confirm that we are sellers. What confirms that we are now sellers is the fact that the previous week's candle, which is this, actually closed as a pin bar. So the best you should be doing is to wait for retracement up to where the previous week's candle opened, which is here, 1527.46. Sell it there, have your stop loss, then have your take profit here. So we expect that if price can retrace back up to 1527.46, then that will mean we are looking for a sell up to 1329.70. Wait for that retracement up to this level, 1527.46, and expect that sell to take us up to 1329.70. So thank you very much, guys. That should be the end of today's market overview. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them here under the chat option so that I'm able to respond on them on time. Thank you. See you.